Howdy folks, this is part 2 of I don't know how many yet with Nickle, and Nickle is the done quarter horse pony-ish thing, and then we've got Dante, who is a Pinto walker. And part 1 I managed to let Dante catch me. He didn't want to be caught, and I fly sprayed him. Turned out he didn't have any problem with the fly spray bottle or being fly sprayed. If he did, I would have taught it to him. And then I gave him dewormer, which he had very little problem accepting that. I prepared him for it with my thumb. You can go look at that if you're interested. I'm expecting, I have trouble remembering his name, Nickle, to be harder, although he's an interesting sort. He's scared of people till he's caught. When he's caught, he yields and gives in. Basically, it's prisoner syndrome, okay? You're caught, he mentally goes into some safe space, not present, and lets you do whatever you need to do to him, I think. We'll find that out. But he's afraid of people. So the hard part is probably going to be catching. We'll see how that goes. I think I'll leave my gloves off for now. So you saw, if you watched part 1, you saw what I did to catch him. I'm going to kind of do the same thing. I might have to use a lot more passive leadership. If I was really smart, I'd have some treats and combine negative reinforcement, passive and active leadership, along with positive reinforcement. If he let me get close enough, I'd offer him a treat, but I need him to do something for that treat, not just stand there. So I didn't bring any down here. I'll probably be using positive reinforcement with him in session 2, since he's afraid of people. Now this might be interesting because of the way I've had him dragging a lead around. I knew it was going to be hard to catch, and he was afraid of some things, and I found when I first put the lead on him, the first time he took a step, he bolted. He was deathly afraid of that lead dragging around there and flipping and just moving everywhere, and you could see he's adapted to that, and he said, okay, I get it. I get the lead thing. Good boy. Can I come over and pet you now? Good boy. And I know you, and I found out you like your forehead rubbed. Well, you didn't think so right there. So now, the whole first session, I never looked at him. Didn't look him in the eye at all. Now I'm going to ignore this guy completely and look at him. I got to be careful with looking at him in the eye because that's predatory pressure, and I don't want his fear to come up with just me looking at him right now. So I'm going to have a tendency to look at his nostril, and there's a chance that the lead line dragging around might help me now. And he's not looking fearful. He's nice and calm and relaxed and thoughtful. He's licking and chewing, but he does want to be with Dante. And I mentioned in the first video, Dante's here because you can't separate him from him, but it's beginning to appear to me that they're codependent. Not a surprise there. Him being afraid of people, he needs him, but you can walk him away from him if he's on a lead line. Dante's going to figure out I don't want him, and he's just going to end up going away, which is a good thing because he's hooked to him and he wants to be with him, but he's going to find out if I'm not with him, I'm left alone. So I am directing him. I'm not going to completely ignore his presence. I'm actually going to be sending him away. In the first video, I talked about active and passive leadership. Active leadership is directing their feet, directing them other body parts in whatever way. Passive leadership is the opposite. It's creating a vacuum, it's quitting, it's offering peace, petting, friendship, soft, quiet sweetness. So this is passive leadership. This is active leadership. And right here I'm actually talking to Dante, not Nickle. And curiously, I'm talking to him, and he's responding to me even though I'm not talking to him. Now you might think, wouldn't that be easier to do that with just one horse? Probably. But they have problems with each other. Each other is more important to each other than anybody or anything else. So I'm killing two birds with one stone here. I'm teaching about me, teaching about my language, developing our relationships of master-servants, and at the same time, I'm getting them, me, more important to them from a sense of security than them. The sense of security is going to come from a combination of active and passive leadership. Active leadership makes them feel like you're very powerful and could kill anything that they can't handle. That offers you a sense of security. If you're in an environment that's sketchy, you want somebody that can take care of that sketchiness. The passive leadership allows them to like you and want to be with you, not for security reasons, but because they feel better when they're with you. Look at that nice little pony trot. So all this pushing is active leadership. This is passive leadership. They have to learn from this. Pushing them around with high anxiety, there's no way that you learn anything when you have high anxiety. The anxiety has to come down enough for you to then think about what just happened. Good. So this is the moment where I offer peace and give them the opportunity to learn. Good. At the same time, I'm sensitizing them to me and my presence. I want my presence to be more important than each other's presence. Good. This also allows me to interact independently with Nickle without him in the way, because he wants to hide behind him. And you need to find some balls. Find your own sense of security inside. You'll do it. Or my name ain't David Yoke. Okay. A little too much sweat coming down in the eyes. No, you don't. No, you don't. So it's clear both have been in a round pen with humans before. This one not so much. And it's not unusual that walkers don't have as much ground training, ground work, as other horses, because people have a tendency to get on them, see that they gate, see how much they can get for them and sell them. So they get minimal groundwork. This guy is probably afraid of people because he's been chased around too much. He's sensitized to people and he's fearful because he's never had a chance to think. I don't know this, but this is what he's telling me. So I'm not going to engage him until I can turn my back on him and he'll just stand there. Because his movement is going to change his brain and take it off of me, and I need him focused on me in not just a fearful way. Good. And he's just licked and chewed. So I'm giving him a big release. He's got flies still. Notice I solved his fly problem for him. Good boy. Yeah, isn't that better? Okay. Now as soon as he starts to move from that position, it's going to stimulate him. That's okay. Good boy. Now this is going to be a little harder because he's already facing me. So I can't reward him for facing me. So what I'm going to do is he's going to end up looking away from me at some point right there. And so this is a backwards reward right now. I rewarded him for looking away, and that thought he was thinking was leaving to his left like he just did. So you could say I just rewarded him for thinking about leaving, but his feet didn't move. So in a way, I rewarded him for thinking about moving, but not moving. I got to start somewhere. And when he's looking away, that's a good time for me to do that. Active leadership, follow it with passive leadership. I want to approach and retreat. I need to find the distance he's comfortable with. Learning occurs from exceeding your comfort zone. So I need to find what his comfort zone is and get out of there. But next time I approach, I need to exceed that comfort zone by 4 inches, 6 inches, whatever. Get. Active leadership, leave him alone. Passive leadership. You're okay right there. Good. So it is clear he understands what he has to do in a round pen to be left alone, or what the appropriate behavior is. But if it was done properly, he shouldn't be afraid of us. So I took him out of his comfort zone. Excuse you. I'm going to re-engage him when he looks at me. Now I couldn't give him a good reward because this guy interfered, and so he got afraid when my energy came up. He's ultra sensitive to your energy. And one of the things you definitely need to learn to do as you're around horses is control the energy inside of you. You got to take a big deep breath, let it out, and drop all your energy. You need to be able to raise your energy and get emotionally high, and drop your energy and get emotionally low, and that's exactly what you're also trying to teach your horse. And I'm waiting for him to look at me with both eyes. He just did. So I'm going to walk away. Now, there's a chance. Excuse you, I am not talking to you. Beat it. Thank you. That's good. Saddle, that's even better. You okay? Nope. Good job right there. I got to close in and see where his discomfort zone is. Okay, so you can see how his head is turned away from me. When both eyes come back and swing to me, I'll walk away. I'm going to creep in a little bit to stimulate that look at me. Good. I kissed to stimulate the look at me. Good. I need him to think about that. He's not really. And one of my concerns is I'm afraid he's emotionally shut down inside. There's such a thing as the ability to ruin a horse. People can ruin a horse and shut them down. And once they're shut down emotionally and mentally, it's very hard to recover a horse from that. Sometimes, I mean, it's up to them, not you. You can do everything you want, and if they can't let go, you know, the cool thing about horses, most horses They never forget anything, but they're willing to forgive. But because they never forget anything, things you do to them, if you do too much of it, they're never going to forget it. How do you unteach that? You can't. They're always going to have it in the back of their memory. Good. So I want him to now link peace with my presence instead of the opposite. Good. He's trying. He's licking and chewing. He tried to drop his head. There his head goes down. And it's hard to tell how much of his behavior is due to flies and how much isn't. But I can see him relaxing into me and focusing on me pretty good. Very interesting. Of course, we're in a round pen, which gives him limited choices. I don't know if I'll be able to catch him in a paddock tomorrow without a halter on or without a lead line. Good boy. Good boy. You're off on your own. Hey! I give you good boys and you get all wonky on me? And some of his problem might be discomfort. I know it's not from Lyme disease. We snap tested him. He's negative. But I'm pretty sure he's got a bad case of insistent stronghold. His belly's a little swollen. He's missing top line. His spine is protruding above his back muscles. Now he's also got bad teeth. It's teeth, insistent small strongholds, or both. I think it's likely both. He's got indications of both. So in that discomfort, it's going to be a lot harder for him to learn and retain with general pain all the time. This guy seems to be in physically, and he's had his teeth done, and they weren't gross. He had some hooks and other things. They haven't been done for a while, but I don't think he's got a lot of discomfort with him. And that's why we did a Lyme snap test to make sure of that. I'm going to offer him a hand and see if he's going to get curious or not. And he did get curious, and he touched me. I'm going to walk away. Passive leadership. So I offered, he accepted my offer, and I want to reward him for that. He's not shut down. A horse that's shut down would never do what he just did. I'm going to come in and I'm going to pet your forehead because you already told me it's your favorite place. And then you're not going to let me approach you? Don't ignore me. I'm looking right at you. Thank you. Thank you. You don't ignore me. I'm more important than anything. God, not God. Good boy. I like where you're going. I'm seeing a lot of thinking, not a lot of feeling. Let's see how close I can get this time. And you can see he's not looking at me. I'm not going to look him in the eye. There. He looked at me with both eyes. I'm going to step away for a little bit. Again, approach and retreat. Now, the other thing I got to mention in here is horses have 5 stages of learning. 2 of them are regressive. As they go through learning, they go through 5 different phases. Phase 2 and 4 are regressive. What that means is the behavior you're trying to create gets worse as you're teaching it. Phase 1, I got it. Phase 2, I don't remember what you're talking about. Phase 3, I got it again. Phase 4, I hate you, go away. I have no idea what you want, and I don't like you anymore. Phase 5, complete total learning. I'm not going to grab for that lead line suddenly. It's the worst thing you can do is create a reaction in the horse without a brain. All they're going to do is learn to flee. So I'm letting him investigate me and touch me with his whiskers to see if he gets any response from that contact. I'm going to walk away. Why aren't you watching me? I don't care about you. Oh, yeah, I know. How about you turn around and face me again? Hey! When I'm playing with him, your job is to stand over there with your butt to the pen and watch what we're doing. Thank you. Good licking, Chew. Thank you. Good boy. So active leadership followed by passive leadership. How many times am I going to say that? As many as it takes. Good. Good. You can see his head turns. That's clearing the direction he's going to go, which means he's thinking about leaving. Right there, he's thinking about leaving to the right. As soon as he takes it away, I'm going to back away so I can reward the last thought, which was, I'm with him. You're okay. You're okay. Definitely not going to look him in the eye. I know right now that'd be too much pressure. Good boy. And now I'm going to try something he may have no experience with, and that's going down like this and getting peace. Now, I have the opportunity to grab that lead line right now, but I'm not going to do it. This is about how does the horse feel. I'm trying to affect his feelings. If I grabbed for that right now, he'll be trapped, caught. And he'll think, I should have run away before you grabbed that. That's not what I want to teach. He's relaxed. He's got a rear leg cocked. He's facing me. This is beautiful. Again, the worst place to pet him first would be on his forehead, at least on a wild horse. I mean, he's not wild. So I'm going to step in and see what he does. And you can see what he does. He's avoiding. There's a certain distance he's uncomfortable with, but he's doing it. So I'm going to go ahead and go down like this. And you could consider this an animal crouching, but this close and with my back halfway turned and my energy at zero. So I'm going to look at his shoulder so I can warn him. But I'm also almost not close enough to pet him, but I'm going to hold out my hand and let him sniff my hand first. Again. If he'll engage my hand, he just touched it with his whiskers and muzzle. So now I'm going to go ahead and try and pet him and see. He doesn't want me to. So I need to respect that. But when he looks at me again, I'm going to step away. I need to make sure my energy's down and that I'm not anxious. He's not wanting to look at me with both eyes. You could see when I looked him in the eye, his head turned away. I want his head to swing toward me. Usually as I step in, they do that. But he might feel I'm too close to do that. So I'm going to give him a release anyhow. And if nothing else, with me standing that close, he probably has fairly high anxiety. And he's just standing there with high anxiety waiting for the shoe to drop. So I want to show him it's not going to drop and let his anxiety come down. And it's down. Now he's thinking about grazing and shit. So I'm going to come back in. And this is nice. He's letting me walk up at a reasonable speed and do nothing. Good. That was I too slow to walk away when he tilted his head toward me. So I'm going to offer my hand again. Good. And walk away. There's a good chance one of these times I walk away, he's going to turn toward me. I guess I should check my timing on this video too. I don't know how long. Oh, good. And there he goes. Because he turned toward me, I want to give him a reward for that. Hey! Hey! Don't screw this up. We're having moments. Get out of here. You're okay. Further. You're okay. Further. Right there. That'll do. Active leadership, passive leadership. Good. I like how you handled that. You knew I was looking at him and talking to him and not you, so you didn't take off and go silly. Very proud of you. So I'm getting the feeling from him he's not blocked in learning from either being shut down or having been shut down, or from any physical pain or discomfort. It's just things he remembers with people. Now, his owners are the kindest, quietest, soft people. They just want their horses to be happy, and they're doing their best. So they've probably done a really good job of bringing these horses down from any anxiety due to people's presence. So they've helped these guys out quite a bit. It's so overwhelming for me to not reach up and pet his forehead. It is so hard to not do. The worst thing I could probably do is reach for this shoulder, his offside shoulder, but I am going to close in. I'm going to offer my hand, and even though it might be the worst thing I should do, I'm going to go ahead and reach this hand back to his shoulder, and that's what I thought would happen. But you can see it didn't work. Him running away did not work because I went with him. Good. Licking and chewing, release of anxiety. I need to get out of there and let that happen. Let him learn from this. It might be time for part 3. I guess I should hack my watch or something, eh? I'm going to keep recording this until the video runs out. And I'm probably not going to quit doing this until I both fly spray and deworm. Oh, that's only 27 minutes. Mr. Nickle, before he gets turned loose, he's going to be fly sprayed and dewormed today. Okay, this was part 2. Stand by for part 3.